and lived in Russia, China, and various different countries. Have you produced a dozen of those now for the multicultural series?
16 of them right now. I've got 16.
Okay.
Italy is in production, and that'll bring it up to 16.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then we also have the new New York Screen Playwright winner, Michael Philip Cash. Now, welcome to the campfire, Michael.
Thank you, Lady Sella. Thank you. It's always a pleasure speaking to you and speaking to the audience. I love talking to you guys. So.
Oh, thank you so much. You have to share with us a word about your little mini Oscar you're getting.
Yeah. I was my screenplay Pokergeist, which I wrote the screenplay first, and then I created the book afterwards. My screenplay Pokergeist won the grand jury prize from the New York Screenwriting Contest in comedy, and I'm going to be getting an award and money and a yacht. I'm not getting a yacht, but I am getting an award. And but yeah, no, this was it was some big recognition, and my other two screenplays for Witches Protection Program and for Brood 10 came in as honorary mentions. So I definitely this was a big win for me.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. And I know, Carol, you've been winning awards for your books too. So it really is a privilege for all of us to hear from you. So, and I want to also thank you for taking the time to, I know that you're very big into videos yourself, both of you. I remember, Michael, the first time that we aired the Battle of Eurasia, we really, there were commercials that run that actually directed people to your video. So I have a question before we get to your reviews on John Nuckel's video, and this is to Carol and Michael. I know you both employ videos as part of your marketing. Have you found them to be useful yourself?
Well, I'll take that first. I have to say that we live in a visual society, and YouTube and MTV have done great things with songs, and people see those kind of images first, and it's very influential in buying. So I was first approached by CreateSpace to do a video on Captain No Beard, and I did, and they loaded it onto YouTube. And subsequently, I've done several other books, and I know Michael has done every single one of his books. He does a video, and they're kind of like a mini movie that create the kind of theme and gives readers a good idea of what they're going to be getting into. So both of us do make videos on our books and find them to be really useful in promoting the book.
I happen to agree. When you're writing, it is black and white because it just is words on a paper. But when you do, or words on your laptop or computer, when you do create a video, it does give depth to what you're doing. And yeah, I know it's a promotional item, but it is very visual, and it is nice to see that something you did write turning into a mini movie. And when I say mini movie, I mean a mini movie that it's created to give people the idea of what your novel's about, where you're going with it, like Phyllis, like Carol said, the idea, the theme of it.
Mm-hmm. That is great, and I appreciate your feedback and comments on that, because the International Radio Tour program really stresses that side for authors, to make sure that they do have a video that can be used to promote the work. So I appreciate you sharing the importance of that as well for you guys. And being that you have so many books out, and to hear that from very well-respected authors. So, Carol, I believe you viewed the VIG video. Could you share with us some comments of what you got out of that?
Well, I actually watched all of them, and the VIG video really kind of it kind of set the scenes for all three videos, and it set the scene of New York, and the pictures just gave the image of a pre-9/11 kind of New York, and New York really was different. There's definitely a feeling of pre-9/11 and post-9/11, and it had a promise of a great future, and slowly the images start to darken, and the city turns oppressed, and it really gives you an idea that this book is not going to be, gone with the wind, so to speak. It's gritty, it's intense, it's New York, it's the financial district, it's the photos also describe how greed will eventually turn into violence. So it gives you a fair idea of what you're going to be reading, and the images really they were exciting and set the scene for a really intense read.
Awesome. Did you have any comments on those, Michael?
I loved the videos. I felt that there was a sense of foreboding, double identities. It definitely it was a Wall Street thriller, and when people think of Wall Street, they think of it's just a numbers movie, greed. There seemed to be something deeper here. There definitely was a level of double identity, that what you see with the people that you're working with on Wall Street are not the people that you're actually working with. So really interesting. I liked it a lot.
Excellent. I'm really curious about the music. I believe one of you sent me an email and you made a comment on the music. Could you tell us a little bit about what you thought about the music? And then I want to make a comment on the music as well.
Well, I think that the music reflected exactly what he was trying to do, and it was intense and like Michael said, ominous, and it created it definitely created a mood. And I thought that they used really wise music selections. I thought the videos were really good. I especially liked in the last one, it showed crossroads and gave you the feeling that third book was about everybody was meeting at these crossroads, and they were going to be going in one direction or the other. I think it also gives a reader a sneak peek to what they should be looking for when they actually read a book. That if you go in with these kind of images, the book makes better sense.
Wow, that is really interesting. I really appreciate you saying that. The reason I mentioned the music, this is a very unusual situation. Oasis is a music producer in Bellevue, Washington, and they actually produce the music score for John Nuckel for his books. This was actually written for the books. And it's very unusual to have, because normally when a trailer is produced or a video, they find a piece of music that is pre-written and then match it as best they can. But it took them literally months, production down. So I was really glad when I saw that part in your email, the comments that had been made about the music, because it was especially written just for the series. So
when you're dealing with, maybe Sella, when you're dealing with something visual, adding the right music to it will intensify the actual video. It'll make the emotions really pull at you. I'll echo Carol's sentiment. It made the whole video all that much better.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate all the comments that you have shared with us today, and I also, want to thank you for your advice to our listeners, about how you use. And welcome back. You are listening to International Radio Tours, and we are featuring Blind Trust with John Nuckel. And next we have Charlie Checkers. But before we get to Charlie and your book reviews for John's books, I do want to make mention there for Carol P. Roman and Michael Philip Cash, who were just sharing their reviews on the videos for The Grit, The Vig, and Blind Trust. In order to see them, you need to go to internationalradiotours.org or storytellers-campfire.org, and you can see the videos there. And they gave great reviews for them, and it really does give you a wonderful preview of John's books. So John and Charlie, next up, Charlie, you have the book reviews for Blind Trust, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. And it's good to be here this afternoon with everyone. Good to hear from everybody. It's been a while. I am happily in my studio working with that, and I like that. Missing everybody. But for our first review on Blind Trust, this is from Lois Barth. She's a professional coach, motivational speaker, and author. Lois Barth, she says that Blind Trust is a must. She's a newly converted mystery reader. I have so many criteria before I deem a book a must, but for me, total non-mystery / thriller reader, I found that I could not put it down. Mr. Nuckel's attention to detail that highlights both the insanity and the humanity of being a card-carrying member of the Human Being Club affirms for me at least that good writing is still good writing, no matter what the genre is. So from this personal growth, this average reader / enthusiast / junkie, that's really saying a lot. Three's a Charm is not just about comedy. It's about the well-developed human characters that you can both despise and fight for at the same time, and the writing that brings it to life. And we appreciate Lois Barth reviewing that for us. The second one I have, another great read from John Nuckel, 5 stars compared to Dickens or Hugo. Of course not, but a very strong 5 stars when put into the category of Nelson DeMille, Lee Child, and David Balducci, and James Rollins as well. Its writing is filled with testosterone, breathtaking surprises, and wonderful characters. I see this trilogy as a series of motion pictures a la Bourne, and while reading Blind Trust and the 2 novels that preceded it, I kept picturing in my mind someone like Ed Burns in the lead role, gritty New York settings, tough, no-nonsense characters, and Ed Burns needs to contact Mr. Nuckel before Clooney and Affleck discover it. This Nuckel creates a fist that knocks the air right out of the readers. Bravo. That was posted by Addison DeWitt, and we appreciate that as well. Our next one is, it is as much a crime story as it is a financial thriller. It has very distinct voices for all the characters, and there's a lot of them, which helps keep you going and following what's happening and who's doing what. And it does include some violence, so you have to be prepared to feel a little squeamish once in a while and, kind of gritty. So, but enjoy those very clever plot twists, and that was posted on Amazon by Biggs. Now, the last one we have is, I really love this third installment in Nuckel's Frank McGinley trilogy. Blind Trust is much smoother and less violent than his previous 2 novels, but it is just as edgy and thrilling. I see Brogan's crew of Cat and Frank, with, of course, the new addition, Ben, as real-world superheroes, ridding the seedy and corrupt Gotham City of evil supervillains, meting out true justice. Bravo. And that was posted on Amazon by Donna Cannon. So, Lady Sailor, that is all the reviews we have. And this is Charlie Checker saying good afternoon. It's so good to hear from John, Carol, and Michael as well.
Thank you so much, Charlie, for doing those for us and taking the time. And I do want to let people know that you can find those reviews on Amazon under John Nuckel. And the reason that we share those reviews with listeners is because we want people to hear different views